Good day, my name is Andrew Broom with the Standherd Oil Company. I'm here to present our project charter on the analysis of EOR techniques. Our project team has chosen to execute a project that will help to clarify and address problems that can arise from the need to use enhanced oil recovery methods on troublesome or depleted reservoirs. For our project, our main goal is cataloging different types of EOR and finding the most effective usages for varying reservoir conditions. Our project will also help to understand the influences of hybrid EOR methods and the optimal implementation of such methods. Our project is justified by the monetary benefits it can offer companies looking to extract the most from their reservoirs with the least amount of capital investment required. This leads to maximizing the effectiveness of oil recovery. Primary oil recovery often leaves valuable hydrocarbon resources in the reservoir. Our project will lead to a more concise understanding of EOR methods and, as a result, can lead companies to the most efficient way to recover any initially unavailable hydrocarbon resources. The limited and circumstantial allocation of oil that companies are given means that they must look to maximize the production of hydrocarbons that are in place. Our project can serve as a guide to help businesses to fully exploit the resources that they are afforded. The business objectives for our project are optimization of resources for enhanced recovery, creation of possible alternatives to pricey or unfeasible enhanced recovery options, culling of enhanced oil recovery knowledge to lead to swift and decisive decision-making with regard to the budget.
Hey, this is Patrick Ryan. I'm going to be going over the project description, the project objectives, and the success criteria for our project. Our project will bring together research on various enhanced oil recovery methods and their respective effectiveness in expected reservoir environments. Our plan will require us to investigate the procedures and efficacy of hydrocarbon gas injections, carbon dioxide injections, water injections, hybrid water and gas injections, air injections, fire flooding methods, and other unconventional injection methods, and various injection patterns. Once we have gathered sufficient data on our subjects, we can then proceed to simulate the enhanced oil recovery methods with small-scale experiments using available resources. Finally, our team can compile the results of these experiments. We can compare the results to expected outcomes derived from research. This will help confirm our tests from our conclusions, and we'll make it over the span of our project. Project objectives and success criteria. Objectives for our project will be expected to be completed for each of the enhanced recovery methods we study. These objectives are understanding the specific process behind the method, understanding the capital requirements for the method, such as knowing that large quantities of water are required for WAG injection, understanding the efficacy of the method for varying formation conditions, performing a small-scale experiment of the method if can be feasibly done, because we might have the budget for some of the larger stuff, but depending on our budget, we can do various things.
These are the requirements for our project. Each team member will be required to research at least one type of EOR method. Also, each team member is going to have to find resources on one Petro to find 10 scientific papers so that they can supplement our research. Another requirement is that our team as a whole will have to consult at least 2 professors to find out more about our project. And also the expenditures will be evenly distributed amongst our members. Next is constraints. Whenever a team member is unavailable for a meeting, the project manager will have to check in with them and make sure that they did not miss any important information at the meeting. And also any research that person has will also have to be compiled by the research manager. The budget of the project will also have to be strictly adhered to. Our constraints for the project will be that whenever a team member is unavailable for a meeting due to unforeseen circumstances, the project manager will be responsible for checking in on that member, and any research that member has will be compiled at a later date. We also must not go over our budget, and again, the project manager will be required to make sure that this is not gone over. And again, the timeline for completion of a project must be strictly adhered to as well. The criteria for whether an experiment can be feasibly done is whether or not the budget can afford the necessary expenditures to do the experiment, and whether the equipment can be gathered in the appropriate amount of time. And again, the project manager will be responsible for following these constraints. These are our assumptions for the project. The project team will assume that each member will be available to meet regularly for weekly meetings and contribute to the timeline for completion. The project team will also assume to have access to one Petro and the professors that we need to complete our research.
This is Andrew Forrest here, and I'll be talking about the preliminary scope statement, the risks for the project, and the project deliverables. First, our project will include research of standard EOR methods and possible implementations of hybrid or unconventional EOR methods. Small-scale laboratory experiments will supplement this research. We will need access to the one Petro database of research papers, and we will also need access to equipment necessary to carry out our small-scale experiments. Completion of the project will be accomplished when we are able to sufficiently research the EOR methods, perform the experiments, effectively consult professors with expertise on the subject, and cross-reference our information with experimental data to come to a definitive conclusion. Moving on to the risks. The risks associated with our project will include many things. For instance, overrunning our allotted budget, failure of experimental equipment leading to useless data or injury, failure to consult a professor within their office hours, or failure to reach a definitive conclusion from our data and/or experiments. The project deliverables. The project deliverables will range from many things: meeting minutes that detail project progress, project charter presentation in the form of a video, project progress report in the form of a video, a project management plan, a final project plan presentation, a summary of research from each member, and a report for each small-scale experiment done.
This is Mitch Rubion, and I will be talking about our project milestones, our budget summary, our project approval requirements, and the project manager. Our milestone summary schedule is as follows. We start the project September 16th. Each member will finish finding 10 research papers by the 27th of September. The progress report video should be finished by October 11th. The completion of research and the beginning of the experiment prep will start November 1st. All experiments should be finished by November 15th. Management plan and project plan presentation should be finished by December 6th, and the project should be complete by the 9th of December. The following table contains a summary budget based on the planned cost components and estimated costs required for the successful completion of the project. Our budget as of now includes the equipment necessary for small-scale experiments, which we have allotted $200 for. This budget summary is subject to change since we are only at the beginning of the project, and we might come upon more expenses throughout the semester as we continue to work on our experiments. Throughout the semester, any changes to the budget will be documented in detail for each additional expense. Our project approval requirements are as follows. Each team member will commit time each week to work on completing project requirements and document them in meeting minutes to keep track of what task is being done and when. Also, each team member will have given a comprehensive analysis of a certain EOR method and demonstrate competency with suggesting implementation of that certain EOR method. The project manager will be given absolute authority over the operations of the project. The responsibilities of the project manager are to delegate research to team members, to ensure that the project milestones are met on time, to ensure the project does not go over budget or to adjust the budget as necessary, and to ensure that team members are progressing at the expected rate and to deliver needed project resources.